Greetings, programs. This is Let's Code a Full 90, where we'll take the next hour and a half, 90 minutes, and write some source code, break down some things, dig into the Wix toolset a little bit, and try to make our part of that world a little bit of a better place. I'm your host, Rob Menching, and today we're picking up where we left off in the last episode with the dream, the hope, the goal that we actually finish all this work on the SemVer Saga, as I've been calling it. This is actually episode 21. So you know what we're going to do? I'm going to show you a little behind. Episode 21. Oh, this is going to be such good stuff. I'm excited because I think we can do it. I have faith. All right, so what am I excited about? What are we doing? Well, this has been weeks and weeks and weeks of work, and we got almost to the end. Where did we get? Well, I left these notes here. We were putting together the whole end-to-end scenario and the installation of one of our packages that had this dependency code, which was the last little piece that we're working on to tie all of the semantic versioning. That code was failing, and it was failing with this error code, 8007000EA. And when we did a quick lookup, it said error more data. So somewhere I have a bug, and all this stuff we've written mostly, hopefully, in the last week, the last episode, have to go try to find the place where error more data is coming out and bubbling all the way up into this custom action that then is causing the MSI package to fail. So I am hopeful that we can do that. We're going to be inside native code. And I thought, you know what? I was kind of shocked how far we got last week. I was unprepared for digging into this code. So let's go pick up right where we left off of what is happening, what is possibly wrong. And if you were following along last week, then this is review for you. I always like to review a little bit before we get going. So this is the custom action code that gets added when you require a dependency. And we found that when we do a dependency check dependency, which we updated to support our Wix versions, which include both 4. Versions and semantic versionings, this is failing and returning a error more data. And that's where we left it, which means we need to go dig into this code and see if we can figure out why this is returning error more data. And I'm hoping that when we look at the API calls we make, we'll find one that's like, yeah, this is naturally error. This function will return error more data, and it's obvious why that would be happening, and then we'll roll ourselves all the way back out to the top. If it's not obvious from inspecting the code, well, then we're gonna have to break out the debugger. And that's gonna be a whole lot more work to just get all the things put together. But if we have to do that, then I'm gonna do it right here in front of all of you guys, and you can see how it how that goes. All right, so I'm hopeful we'll see something that I did that's just an obvious mistake. That's like, clearly that's the wrong code right there. So let's go dig into dep check dependency. I don't know if that's going to be in debutal. Do I have that open? I do, yes, in debutal. Dep check dependency. So this is the code where we read a reg key, and we open the reg key, and if we do, then we read the version as a Wix version. And this was the part that we changed here, of reading that Wix version to get it into our version value, and then also converting these min version strings that are passed in to a Wix version as well. And then we compare these parsed versions here, and then we change this logic a little bit to make that happen. Now, this logic is not the thing that's going to return error more data. It's going to be in one of these functions, presumably, I'm guessing, because this code worked before we got here. It's going to be in one of these functions that I added here. And since these functions have been around for quite a while, been burned, and have been beaten up with a fair number of tests out there, I'm guessing that this is going to be our most fruitful path down, because this is code we added. So let's go dig into that, and that starts with reg, so that's going to be in regutil. Oh no, that's the H file, regutil.cpp. Yeah, we were working here. All right. So we read the registry, then we read string, read first person. That's all right. So reg query value ex. Let's go look up that API. Reg query value ex. All right. So parameters, file not found. I'm just skimming for error underscore. Yeah. All right. Well, that was fast. Let's see. Let me blow this up a little bit. Can I make this bigger? Yes. And one more. Maybe too much. Maybe not. There it is. Just skimming through, I can see error more data, which makes sense. If we pass in a buffer to the register key that's too small, we'll get error more data. And we're reading a D word 64. So we're trying to get out of the 64-bit version first. So we'd expect this to return error normal data. Oh, there it is. All right, so if we get this back, if this function returns file not found, then we exit quickly with file not found rather than trying doing this parsing. And then right here, we're like, if this returned an error, also bail, reg exit on error. But because we know that we're dealing with strings sometimes here, this D word 64 is definitely not going to be large enough to hold it. So this is clearly a mistake because we're always going to fail when the registry key is not a D word or a string small enough to fit in a D word. I don't know, that'd be weird. Anyway, so this is busted. All right, this function's based off of another reg read version, and it doesn't see. I don't. There's that blank line to better show that these are separate. And notice it does not have that check because what does it do? It says, if we can't read this, let's go ahead and try to read it as a string. If it's a string, let's go read it as a string, which would not fit in that D word. So this is wrong. So what do? We now query this string, get the 64-bit version. If the type is a string, then we, if the type came back right here as a string, read it as a string, and then parse the version. Otherwise, if it's a number, parse that D word 64 as the number. Well, that would return error more data for us. Gosh, I almost feel like I should have done this last stream. We would have been ended on a super high note. Well, all right. So the beautiful part of this, I'm joking, this is not the beautiful part, is that regutil is at the bottom of our build stack, the lowest layers possible. So let's go ahead and make that change, and then we'll go build, we'll go rebuild dutil. How many things do I have to rebuild here to get this correct? Or is it better to do a clean build? I'm gonna do a clean build just because I don't wanna deal with the, if I get it wrong, one little fix like that could blow everything up. All right, cool. So I have a clean build. Now I'm going to head and rebuild the world. While that's going, we'll go back up here. So if this returned error more data, because we came all the way, actually, all right. I think we found it. So error more data would come out of here. We would bail, give up on everything, come back up to debugging. This would return error more data and bail out of here. If it is not error not found, right? Then we would exit out of here. So the dependency check dependency would bail. That would come out here. And this would say error more data. And then we would say that, hey, we hit a failure because we have error more data. Yep. And then that would roll out of our custom action and the whole system would all fall apart as it rolled itself back up. Okay. So that gives me high hopes that that is the issue. Now let's go ahead and refresh memory on how this code was working previously. So this is the product components in package B, and we are going to install this file, and we say that we require that the Wix AV1 be installed with a minimum version of 1.0.0 alpha 420 and include the minimum. All right, great. So this is package B has a dependency on this A file, on this A provider key. And if we go over here, this is package AV1. This is another MSI build over here with all of our test infrastructure around it. And this version here is setting the key to this test group AV1. And then we just need to make sure that when this thing is built, oh, this is cool. This is going to use the test infrastructure, which I want the props file to show me where it's getting the test file from. Template package wxs templates package.wxs. That's fine. And here we will see that our version is going to be defaulted to 1.0.0.0.0, and that 1.0.0 should satisfy our 1.0.0 alpha because the full version is newer than this pre-release. Therefore, we should be good to go. The minimum of this pre-release is satisfied by the official release version, which is 1.0.0 with an extra 0 on the end. All right, that's goodness. So we should now be able to let all this run. And if I remember, I had a window open. Yeah, so in the build folder, we're not to the test yet, so I can't go jump into there. We're gonna wait until we get the test code built. And then we're gonna be back to running the bundle B, this guy right here. Why we're going to run this bundle? Because he's going to install the package A for us and the package B for us. And if you remember at the end of the last stream, this bundle attempted to install and then rolled back, which was in the final moments, the final 8 to 5 minutes, we saw this roll back because package B had a dependency on package A. That package was satisfied. That dependency was satisfied, but due to this bug, which we may have just found like that, I'm getting ahead of myself. I really shouldn't be that hopeful that that's the only bug. Although, anyway, that bug, maybe others, that bug caused package B to say, hey, I require this. The bug failed, so it said it could not satisfy its requirement, and we were stuck. So here's hoping that with this new build, we're going to get this new bundle B, test bundle B, and I will attempt to install it on my machine. Famous last words, but I think it'll be all right. And hopefully we'll see bundle B actually install fully, properly, correctly, do the thing that we want to do so badly. All right, so we're in Bolutil and the extensions now. We have a few more extensions to go. Okay, so if we go back to our to-do and we look at our all up list. Oh, there's, what? Wait, is there a scroll bar up here? No. All right, to-do.txt. All right, double check, make sure it's build still going. Okay, yeah, still going with Stanby. All right. This has been our overall list of things to do in the semantic versioning, which is evaluate the dependencies use of version numbers. We found that they were 4.4 and we chose to move them to Wix version, which is what we're on here. When this is done, that will just leave this patching scenario. I'm going to just leave it the way it was, and I will open an issue to hunt down how to evaluate patch family versions as I'm doing the patchwork, since I have several bugs, and they're hardly bugs, they're large features, basically say go make patching all work again in Wix 4 since it's mostly broken. So that will get taken care of there, which means we could go back through this list and see if everything, if all the code looks good, and then we're going to check off the semantic versioning support in the Wix toolset. Also then down here, there's these things to consider, which I think we'll see in the code. Fix that message. Right, writing a breaking note change. I'll keep that there. and where to put the error messages, the warning error messages, these two things. This invalid product version, should it be backend specific or things? All right, just reviewing things that we did in the past. All right, let's see. How's our build going here? All right, we're running the test code for COM Plus. We have a few more to go. I think these are in that code. Ah, here we are. This is actually the debutal code itself. So the change we made was in dutil, which is very, very early in the build. So it's not all the way down to the back. Need to merge with latest. Bundle packages have versions 2. Ah, okay. So more changes have introduced more versions. So that may be the big thing we do, is updating and then rebasing all these changes on top of all the changes that came in, and hunting down bundle packages that have versions on them, which is, I think, net new code since we started here. So we'll go and figure out how to put that in as well. All right. So what we're hoping is that this dependency requires now passes. So we're going to do that test first, and then I'll take package A. We'll do this again where we comment package A again and attempt to install, and we should see it roll back to just to really quickly verify that an A unsatisfied dependency still does not install. All right. Where are we at here? We are in HTTP. We're a little bit farther along. Okay. So let's see. So what are we doing today? We are going to, what do we have to do today? Verify the fix. The fix. We'll see if it's the real fix, the full fix, or whatever. And then let's update to latest, rebase our changes, and then we'll deal with the new bundle package version handling. I don't know, we'll have to go dig into what that means. And hopefully that will be build breaks, although we could end up with lots of fun merge conflicts that we're dealing with. So I don't think we've done a lot of merge conflicts here. So I think that'll be a fun thing to go wander through the experience of changes on the outside affecting the changes here. This is the UI custom action. So we're getting farther along. So if we look here, extutil, ext.cmd, we can see the UI and then the Visual Studio extensions are the last two in this part of the build. And there's the Visual Studio extension. And if we look at the build all, we will see that extensions are here, the samples, layers next, and then we're into our integration test. And this is the part that we're most interested in. I expect the samples to fly by pretty quick. And they are done, and now we're into the test code. All right, cool. We're getting ourselves all set up to run this scenario all over again. Okay, so build, we should be in integration, debug, core app, I think. Test data. I think it was in test data. It's going by so fast. I thought it was, yep, there it is, test data, basic tests. All right, let's just wait a little bit. Look for our dependency test to show up here. Since this is all the basic tests, there's cache tests. We're interested in the dependency test. Now, this layer of the Wix toolset build only builds all of these, this huge integration test. It doesn't actually run them on your machine because, well, it has to elevate to do all these different MSI and bundle operations. And they do, you know, in a perfect case, I think they clean up after themselves, but you definitely don't want to run them on your local machine without having a way to get back. So we run them in a, you know, in the build VM normally, and just let it handle, throw away the whole VM when it gets done. So we don't have to worry about what case the tests leave. But the nice thing is we do build just to make sure that everything actually works. All right, there's our bundle B. Let me go ahead and bring up the temp directory, local temp. All right, cool. Yeah, hey, here's our old tests. These are our old dependency tests. So I'm gonna go back here, go to date modified. So we're seeing the top of the list. I'm gonna let the test build finish just so we don't have bits and pieces all running at the same time when we want to run this test to be focused on what it does. Plus, as the tests go, there's, man, lots of temp files being thrown around. And that will just make it harder to find our log files. Just noisier. Almost done there. All right, now we're building the Wix end-to-end tests. And these are run because all they do is build things, which shouldn't really affect your machine. Just builds a whole bunch of stuff to the local directory using the core, using the Wix toolset with the SDK style projects and all that other kind of good stuff that we actually looked at quite a bit when we were doing the clean rebuild, incremental build, the clean incremental build work. All right, tests, let's finish up. I am eager to run this bundle. At the end, tying all the parts together of this rather large change that we have going on here. But this is cool. Feels good to be getting close. Feels like we're close here. Man, I thought these tests didn't take... There we go. Didn't take that long. And then, we don't care about the zips. Okay. It's just going to zip up a bunch of stuff. All the PDBs for uploads. Should this actually be the machine? All right, here we go. I think I'm just going to run this because then it'll put it in the temp folder. Yeah, let's just do that. I guess I could run it with a command line and write the log file somewhere else. Nah, that's right. I've already got the temp file over here. All right, here we go. Run bundle B. I'll get an elevation prompt. Yes, we'll take that. We're going to see our log files here doing their thing. Hopefully we'll see an MSI log file show up shortly. There's A, there's B. Now the one problem with this test is because it's silent, the BA that runs in this bundle doesn't show any UI. It's hard to know when it's done if you don't do something more direct. Exit code 0, restarting, no, yes. Package B. So there's a lot of extra error stuff because we're in the debug build and it writes everything out. There it is, applied, execute, package B, result 0. Yes. We could look at the log file for bundle B and look for Wix for dependency. Yeah. Okay. And there's the x64 one. Ended, return value 1, which means it's all fine. No, wait, that's... Don't care about that. All right. Let's change the code. Take out the A. Oh, uninstall first. I need to remove this thing. Tilde. To the title of uninstall. I guess this will be a good thing to make sure this still works too. All right, launch that uninstall. And planned. I think this is the uninstall. Oh yeah, not used to seeing error messages beforehand, but this is the debug build. All right, so there's the uninstall switch. And down here, I just want to see package B. Uninstall path arguments. Yes, excellent. That's starting it. And there's all the messages from package B doing its thing. There's so much noise in here. Is this all package B? Yeah, there it is. Applied execute 0. All right, cool. And then A is removed as well. All right, that looks good. So now what I want to do is bring back my tests. Let's see, where did I put that? There it is. And comment out this. And let's see if we can do, we're going to just build the bundles now. Source test burn. I think that's enough. I'm going to delete the directory where we had the bundles because I want to make sure it rebuilds dependency tests. Okay, there, nice and clean. We'll run this again. This should build all those tests again, and we're looking for the dependency test to show up in here. All right, so now this time we expect the bundle, when we double click on it, run to attempt to install the MSI package and then have it fail because it does not have the package B does not have its required A bundle on it. There's our dependency test back, and there's our bundle B. Okay. Oh boy, fun, 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 fun. Getting close. Hopefully this fails. Bring up my temp folder as well. And we'll hold on to that temp file. Let's see which of these is going to survive. That's our old install, 1254. All right, cool. We have a file in between them. That's good. All right, here we go. Install a bundle B. Get an elevation prompt. It's going to do its thing. It's going to attempt to install. There's package B. And if we look at this, go to the bottom real quick, installation failed. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's exactly what we want to see. Oh, there, and the test out. Wix for dependency. Yep. If you continue to install, the product may not work properly because one or more dependencies are missing. Do you want to continue to install anyway? And the test BA says nope, so it returns 1603, which fails the install due to this custom action. All right. Whew. That's awesome. Very happy about that. All right, before we make more changes, let's go ahead and get ourselves up to date. So time for a little get foo. I think I've already checked in something. Nope. Oh, wow, look at all those changes while we've been working on this that have come in along the way. All right, so we're back here. Oh, no. Oh, we're way back here. All right, well, this will be exciting, won't it? And the develop that we had was all the way back here. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna stage all these changes and I'm gonna commit them so that I get them into history. I'm on Wixfer, that's great. Okay, awesome. Now, all right, so I've committed. Now I'm gonna do what I always do is I drop a tag here. So what I'm gonna do is as I start rebasing, this branch moves around, and if anything goes really, really wrong, it's just this safety net. I always drop a tag here so that I can come back to it, and when I finish everything up, then I delete that tag. All right, so use my little handy dandy alias to bring our develop branch up to date. So we should be up here now, and we will see that our develop branch is even with origin develop, and we have this one tiny little change that needs to get put up on top of all of these red dots. And I'm gonna do this real quick. Yeah, okay, that deleted my cleans out my tracking branches to get rid of those little green branches that were rolling up in the server have been committed already, which contributed to all these red dots. So this just cleans up the graph that we're looking at. This might be a little small for you guys. I don't have a way of making it bigger right now. But net, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rebase all of our changes on top of all of these, and we get to go see what's going to explode, because I expect it's gonna be an exciting path forward. So here we go. Dropped our tag already. So get rebase onto develop. Here we go. Zoom, and we got only one. I don't know, actually. And we've hit already a conflict in Windows Solid Backend Helper. All right, here we go. Let's go. So I liked what code was showing me before with the merge changes. Here, let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, okay. This is always fun. When we start adding more error numbers, we can get ourselves into collision points here. So I want the current change because these are new numbers that came in. Whoops, No, I want both. Accept both changes, thank you. And then I need to fix this number to be the next highest number after that. 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. Okay, cool. So that will be that diff. That wasn't terrible. Let's see what this looks like. Search for our current changes. Okay. You know what? I want to keep those, but I want them a little smaller. There we go. Make this nice and wide. All right, so what's happened here? Product code, ARP comments, all users fast install ARP system. So where are we at? We're in process MSI package command in the bundle. All right, and product code and product code. All right, so interesting. Product name versus package name. Description, all users. Wait, where does this diff end? Okay. Interesting. Wow. What was my part of the change here? This won't be pretty, huh? Thanks, Sean. All right, let's see. So I only care about the version stuff. So where's the part that I then changed? I don't know. Oh, is valid. Okay, it's this. Is valid MSI product version. That's got to be what it is. I probably added that test. Yes, there we go. Right, so that we could find invalid MSI product versions. I think the rest of this I didn't touch. So that's the parent. So the current change is this, which ends up deleting a lot of these things and moving it somewhere else, presumably. So this right here, this highlighted block, is the code that we want to bring along. And we just have to go figure out where this other code went. Presumably it's still out there. This looks pretty unique. There. No. Ah, there's the add. No, that's the old code. Okay, so it changed more than I would think it did. Okay. Can I see how far are we here? I want to see the other files. These are just going to show me my files. So that's the ads, remove that, added all that. All right, I'm good with that change. Is valid, oh, I see, okay. That's the same change there. Backend helper is the same change there. Okay. Let's go take care of these other two smaller changes first. Sometimes it just helps clear out some of the noise of the system. All right, so the change here was to switch to the, so is valid identifier. Presumably it was here before. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I want both for a moment, and then I don't want that one. And then let's go ahead and get with the program here and be like everyone else. We stopped using the arrow keys, and the editor config will fix that sort of thing for me, but not here. And a space on that one. Okay. Let's look at the burn backend helper, which I think looking at the diff before was the same thing. All right, so if I accept both, valid identifier, accept both changes, and then we will put our braces around this. Put our braces around this. Oops. And then this is the one that was duplicated because I accepted both. All right, so I think that fixes up these two backend helpers. Is valid Wix version. Is valid MSI product version. Is valid identifier. Oh, did I leave that in there? Burn backend helper. Is valid identifier. No. I don't know what this is showing me. That's weird. 1, 2, 3. That is weird. Burn backend helper. Am I looking at the wrong file? Burn backend helper, sensibility services. Huh. Okay. I don't know what this diff is showing me here now. It's definitely making me a little. Let's just refresh it. That's so weird. All right, this one's showing the right thing though. Strange. All right, let's commit that. Windows installer base backend. And were you doing the same thing? This valid Wix version is valid identifier. This diff is weird because that's not at all what this code looks like. Oh, there's the minus. Oh, I see. Why isn't it showing me the red on there? That's what's missing. There's the minus and the pluses. That's okay. It's fine. Yeah, it's the. Yeah, I'm missing the color highlighting on these guys here. That's what's weird. Is valid identifier. I am valid. Yes. All right, that's good. Let's go back to Windows installer. It's valid identifier. Yeah. Okay. Great. All good. All good. What I was missing here was these other pluses and minuses were not getting highlighted in the diff, so it was confusing me what I was looking at. Okay, now we need to just go figure out what happened to this code that all of these things are here. And package name, that's the old code. It's also weird. The names changed, I think. Yeah, the variable names changed. So that doesn't help with this diff either. Okay. And then product code, manufacturer. Okay. Is that code just after now? No. All right. I don't know that I need the parent. Don't know that that's telling me anything new. May just be easier to take their change and then bring mine along, because I think all I want is this in the end. Okay, look at description version. Cache. Yeah. Backend version. Yeah, and I was able to simplify this to it. Let's see. Maybe this warning. Let's see if the version truncated is still around somewhere. No, just here. Oh, wait. Ah! We are. There it is. I think I found it. Maybe? Okay. Okay, cool. So that's where the code looks like it moved up to. All right, so here's 258, and it looks like it moved up to 138. I'm hoping this is the same stuff. Is valid 4-part version. Yeah, okay. And then here's where we're setting the product code and such like that to the harvested MSI package, which came out of this function, which is what we were in. Yeah, okay, cool, great. So what happened was all of our stuff got shoved into this function, and I changed all of this to, I think, simplified it all the way down to just these 3 lines. So I think all of this is what I need to replace. Just so I can find you again. Whatever, I used the symbols wrong. Doesn't matter, I just need to make sure that I have the correct width of it. Yeah, that's it. Is valid far part version, strong version, invalid product version. Good. Is valid for part version, strong, invalid part. Awesome. Okay, so I was able to replace all of this with just this. Does this line up? Except I probably don't have. All right, bring that code back. I need to look at what the inputs are. Yeah, so it's now called this.msi package. And this.msi package. And we don't have the source path anymore here. This payload pack, that was control click, took me away. Let's see. So there's the source line numbers. And this warning didn't spit out the path, I guess. So is it going to be that? Let's see. Cache, display name, description version. I'm looking for something else that uses the source. None of these error messages did. Not a proper done it. Yeah, so package product version. Package product version, package source. Might not be a path if it's eventually remote. Yeah, that's always possible. But we can have the error message handle that. Okay, so I think this is correct. Back and help us about this MSI package product version. That. Then it did the split. We don't care about the split one. We always care about the original, and then we'll have to deal with the source path. Okay. Now, what's interesting is we don't actually have any error messages being done in here. But it was done there before, right? Okay, so we're just replacing that. Okay. Now let's go back to our diff, and I think now I can accept their change because all of this goes with it because I brought the important part up and out to replace it. All right, I think that's the end of that. And let's see what this looks like here now. Yep. So the end diff is that I removed all of this other version checking stuff and I replaced it with this. Yep, that looks about right. The only downside is, oh, it's using, oh, there it is. There's invalid package. It's using this.package ID. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. So let's go look at that. Country 145. Whoops, 124. Whatever. Invalid product version. Let's go find. Right. So we have gotten rid of that one from this. Product version should have that, and minor version detected. Oh, wait. Does this message not use? Oh yeah, it does. This package, invalid this in this MSI package. And it's saying the package ID instead of the path to the package. Okay, that still works. That still works. So package ID, this dot package ID. So let's see, that should make these a little bit more similar. There we go. Yep. Yep. Okay. All right, I think that was the change. Whew. All right. I don't know how far we got. Does history show us how far we are into the rebase? I don't know. Let's. So we've submitted all our changes. We've merged. We've handled the merge conflicts. Let's go ahead and continue. Whip. Yep, we're gonna stick with the whip command for now. Oh! Well, that went way better than I thought it would. Really? It was just the last change? Okay. No, it wasn't the last change because there's all these other changes. Okay, so we got about halfway through, no, 3/4 of the way, and then we added a little else. Okay, that's awesome. That's very nice, actually, all things considered. Important part now, I'm just gonna start over from the beginning again, and then I'm gonna start dropping back and thinking about how to time this, please do this build. Go. All right, I want to keep this kind of in one eye open. Actually, let's see, will this show me my changes of the last? I thought there was a way of getting this to show me. All right, well, can you stick to the side window here? Thank you. That's great. And I want to see the compile. Whatever. Where's the build? There it is. I just want to see that continuing to progress with no red while we look at this. Oh, wait. Refresh. Okay. I had a minor heart attack there because I saw X's whip right here, and I was afraid that we were our Wix version branch that we just did all the rebasing on was not actually on top of develop, but it is. This tiny little dot, it's correct. Okay, so I guess I gotta go here then. That's disappointing. Want to kind of go back and poke around at all the changes that we have here while this is running in the background. So this is error messages introduced the invalid 4-part version and updated the message such that it could be 4-part versions or semantic versions. And this message got a bear name all the way around, modular bundle version. So 4-part version is more descriptive of what it was checking. Okay, there we go. Is not all code paths return a value. Is valid MSI product version. Oh, well, that was one of the things I just formatted. That's fine. Let's see, where are we? Core, good. Let's go ahead and bring up Visual Studio now. And we can go from there. Let's go. This is good anyway, because now I can bring nCrunch up, and should there be any new... No. It's a good way to have me give you a very bad survey answers to bug me while I'm trying to do work. Anyway. All right. We're going to let this run, and it's going to fail to build, presumably. There we go. And we're going to see, what did I do? Oh, when I formatted it, I forgot to add the return statements to the fat arrow. Gives you the the implicit return statement. All right, that's fine. That is fine. That's not something I'm worried about being mixed up in the history. And since we didn't finish building Wix enough, the Wix lib for the example wasn't built. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna keep letting it run. All right, that'll pick up where it left off. Bah, that was unexpected. All right, it's showing me what changes I need to commit next to history. That's fine. All right. Warning messages. We also got rid of the is invalid module or bundle, and we made it is valid 4-part version, invalid 4-part version, and then invalid MSI product version, which is slightly more restrictive than a 4-part version. So that's all good. And then we named them better here. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. Here's the Wix version code. This is a direct port of the C++ code that's in dutil. So that's expected. And then there's the label that goes along with that code. The backend helper, what do? We improve the text here to say it's just a valid 4-part version. Who cares about the module or bundle? It's just a 4-part version. And then we expose the check for valid MSI product version and then valid Wix version. That's good. Very interesting. Dependency custom actions next. Dependency extension feature. We went in and added, extended the check to make sure that our dependency data was being written and being written with a semantic version into it. So that's the minimal test there. And we updated that to be a semantic version instead of a 4-part version. Okay. So I'm not pushing this, like my goal is not necessarily to push and get all this stuff up into a pull request, because I want to go back and add a few more tests like around the Wix version code, spend a little time there, things like that. Just really boring kind of stuff. Although depends on how much time we have. But we might start on some of those things and want to add another couple more integration tests on to get that. Basically, where I had to modify the bundle by hand, I want to make sure those two cases are covered where the dependency is satisfied and the dependency is not satisfied, and make sure that those cases are both in there. All right, so this is junk. This was a test that I was just writing to bang around on what verutil supported. So I should get rid of that change. Debugging. All right, so these are the changes we made here. The big thing was we changed the inputs from strings being converted into D words into, let me just double check, make sure this is still running. From instead of doing string comparisons, we now do verutil comparisons. And this is the fix. This is where we started this. This first round was we went from read version, which reads a D word. We moved to Wix version. Now we read actual versions, and we found the bug inside there today. So that's good. We change parsing from file version from string to parse version, and then we use the comparisons for version and min version to make sure that we, because they're more complicated checks than the nice simple 4-part version shoved into a D word 64. And then we do the same thing for max version with the other code. All right, and then we release all the things. Great. Regutil, I added blank lines since this if does not go with that if, and wrote this code and fixed it since we found that I had an error there. That was what we did today, but all the rest of the code is reading a Wix version and parsing from that. That's pretty good. We added a new function, and we need verutil to build with it. All right, here's a bundle. This needs more work. I will not commit this. I need to fix these tests up to do, like I said before, test both with package A being installed, not being installed, versus package B to make sure that package B can both successfully install when the dependency is there and make sure the test fails when it's not there. And then we updated B to have a slightly more interesting version check on it. Cannot install, yeah. This is the part that I want to make sure that this test is enough, or how many more tests we need to go out and take care of. Maybe this is enough, but I want to sit down and do that. All right, parse helper fixture. So this is implicitly testing the SemVer for us by using an attribute to go through, which is all right. I think it'll probably be good to have some tests in the core data in Wix Toolset core, Wix Toolset test.data to test the Wix version very close. But that's essentially what all these tests are doing, is make sure that we could create attributes of various versions and that they parse and do not parse as they could. All right. Remote payload fixture. What changed here? The version number. Right, when we switched from using the version numbers to the string versions, those numbers moved because of the way Wix 3 was storing the differences in these numbers. That was a fun little discovery. So this is purely, well, and I have this listed as a to-do to probably write down that this could be a change that people would hit. Okay. Populates install execute sequence table. This is just validating that upgrades can be tested with invalid version numbers in them. The version fixture. This is this is where we actually started this whole thing, and we wrote a couple tests to try to see what could we shove into an MSI, what version numbers could we put into an MSI and have it actually successfully build or not build, or what would it support. And now we have a test for both what MSI can't support and what the bundle can support with the semantic versioning. So that's good. Where are we at over here? We are into NetFX extension. So we are past the core tool set with all the tests that we're looking at here, and we are past the dependency custom action with this minimal test here as well. So this looks good. This means that the merge conflicts seem to have been handled well, because all of our tests are currently passing to the extent that that's there. All right, this is a Visual Studioism. I don't like it when it does that, but I will make sure that that doesn't get committed because we don't need it. We have a ** here to just grab all the files. The test that allows us to validate the upgrade version that goes along with the upgrade fixture. This is our bundle, integration bundle. So we can have a cool big version number on it and test all these things. So that's good. All right, now we're into the core. Common, we implemented the isValid MSI product version to centralize it, given the places that it was used probably all over. And one day, not in Wix 4, we'll get rid of common and put it in with parse helper, so it's not like all this stuff duplicate, or basically rationalize common, the compiler core concept, and parse helper. Now that I think we've got the interfaces better understood that are published from the Wix tool set and the parse helper and that kind of stuff, I think we can finally clean up the compiler's use of all these things. But there's a lot of code in the compiler, so that'll take a minute. Compiler core is valid merge module, is valid module bundle version. Right, we don't check this here, we check it in the backend now. Ditto for modules, so that's bundle modules. And for packages, we just get the version and then we check it in the backend. The compiler core now just falls back to using common, so it doesn't have this stuff duplicated. The backend, yeah, we added a message in the burn backend saying that we cannot parse the versions of 4-part version. Let's see where that gets used. Create bundle exe command. Right. So we need, for various parts of Windows, like the Windows Fusion Manifest Assembly and the version resource information that goes into the exe, the bundle exe when it gets built, we need an actual 4-part version that can come from the bundle being built, which may have a semantic version. So we will do a best effort match down to a 4-part version from our Wix version, which is where we go here to take the Wix bundle symbol, whatever you authored in the code comes down here, we parse as a Wix version, we turn it into major, minor, build, revision if they're available, make sure that they're not out of range of the maxes, write a message, log a message when we have defaulted something to a 0 essentially, and then return that back as the 4-part version, which is pretty good. And change the name of it from Windows Assembly version to 4-part version, because it's not only used for the Windows Assembly manifest information. All right, so that's that. Process MSI package command. Make sure that the MSI has a valid product, and then spit out a warning message if it's wrong. Because even if the MSI has an invalid 4-part version or an invalid MSI product version, which is more restrictive than a 4-part version, we're going to trust that Burn can, with its awesome, super duper magical version handling Wix versions, it's going to be able to kind of survive its way through no matter what you put there. So we're changing that from an error to a warning. In general, this shouldn't be a big deal for things that you're building and putting in your own bundle. But if it is, you still get the warning. Backend helper to expose the fact that we have added is valid MSI product version and is valid Wix version. Payload harvester. Right. So before we use the fixed block for the file version, but we want to use now instead the string version of the product versions, so that we can handle semantic versioning and other things that people might put. And we don't need to only rely on the 4-part version, although we will, if that's what we need to use. We will fall back to the 4-part version, I think. Yeah, fall back to the fixed part. And we will store it. We'll install our backend, invalid module version. All right, so we have a specific message about merge modules because they are 4-part versions. Yeah, we have a explicit call out there with the name. Yep. Bind database command. Verify that the version. We verify the version of whether we're an MSI with that version, or if we're a module, we handle that case. Yep. Create from the backend. So here we are checking that the major upgrade ends up with proper versions. And we do these checks really super late so that if anything of this stuff is localized strings, we can still catch these error messages all the way back here. And there's the backend helper for the Windows installer. We saw the burn side of it. Here's the Windows installer backend helper wrapper that has it as well. And here's the backend helper that actually exposes the is valid thing from the core and the common. And getting rid of common and cleaning up all of these layers of helper functions behind the scenes is something I'd like to do, but not in Wix 4. And then we have parse helper, which no longer uses version to try to parse attribute versions. It now uses Wix version to try to parse versions. You know, every time I look at the diff when I get done, I'm generally disappointed that it took as long as it did to write this many lines of code. I don't know. It's always like, why did it take me so long to put those things in the right place? I don't know. When you look back at it, it seems so obvious. But I suppose there's something to, well, you had a puzzle and you just look at the puzzle. It's like obvious. When you had the, wasn't that the way it goes together? Yeah, all the pieces are right there. You don't have to go searching for them. And I think we've got ourselves right to the end of the build. Look at that. A beautiful timing. All right, so the thing I want to do real quick before I go any farther, I'm going to reuse my Y here. Let this finish up. Perfect. Perfect. Love it. I'm going to redefine Y here because we know we were in a good spot here. And I'm going to go reset head ~1. So I'm going to move my change back to develop. So all of these changes that we just looked at that were committed under the whip are going to no longer be committed under the whip, and they're all going to move back into my working space. All right, I'm going to stage them all just because I'm going to go through real quick. I would have done this during the build, but changing these files while the build is happening can create really kind of weird things. Visual Studio 1617. I'm not going to bring this change in because I'm not changing everything consistently. But I guess we're probably going to need to, probably should do this at some point, probably en masse. Just change this number one time when we standardize on Visual Studio 2022. Okay, so far I want all those changes. I do not want these changes. And here I changed it to, oh, what did I do? I changed it to 32-bit. didn't really intend for any of those changes to go in, so I'm going to leave that out because I didn't add any projects. So I don't really want to put that in here. I don't want that to go in because that was just some hacked test code. All right, this is good. Regutal bundle. This is definitely not ready. Kind of want that. I need this to look at this. I think I want to keep that there for now. I want that. I want to get that test all the way to the good spot. There's the parse helper, the remote payload fixtures. Yeah, upgrade fixture, that's fine. The version fixture is a reasonable thing. This change, I want to not have that in there. This is the upgrade, the test for the upgrades, common. Oh, wait, I should look. Okay, I want those. The bundle, yep. All right, we just looked at these. Memory says that we wanted all these changes. Yep. All right, cool. Now this, I definitely do not want this change. That does no good. This doesn't do any good, so this code can just go. I need to stare at this a little bit more. And let's go ahead and discard both of these because I'm not bringing them with me. Yeah, just discard this file. All right. Wow. Okay. That's a lot of changes. That is a lot of changes, and I want to bring in more tests. And we got 20 minutes still rolling here. I really thought it was going to take longer to find the bug, or I guess I thought there were going to be more bugs. I don't know actually what I thought. I think I'm glad there's not more bugs. All right, so which way to go? I'm going to go look at, since I have this file hanging out here by itself, I want to look at this. Let's go look at those tests real quick, because I think I was pretty close already. We're done with you. We're done with you. You and you and you. No, we're not done with the to-do. All right, have we done all these? I think we have. That, and that. Yep, all right. So let's keep going. The dependency test. This is actually the one I want, isn't it? Yes. Oh, this is our attempt at using the sandbox. That sadly did not work. I'm going to keep that open because I want to think about that a little bit more. All right, I don't think I care about that. The bundle installer. Well, this is me trying to remember how all that code worked. All right, that's package A, package, Wix dependency. We're done with the actual code, so we can close all that code. All right, cool. And then, no, I don't want you guys being supersized. There we go. Okay, there's bundle B. If you did bundle package, must have been super fast. I missed it. Well, is there anything that has to be done for bundle package? Because it's just going to be a Wix version and go through, right? Is there more to it than that? Let's see. Parse. Is it going to be parse bundle package? Yeah. Parse bundle package element, which is just a chain package, which then is going to do its version thing. Presumably. This overloading of this one function to parse all the different types of packages is always like a little bit, makes your eyes bleed a little bit when you get into it, but it's better than duplicating all the code all over the place. Where's version? No. Version. There it is. Allowed. Is remote allowed? Right, you're going to specify the version on there. Yep. Is allowed. And is there something in the back end that you're thinking, Sean, that is going to be problematic? Burn backend. Where is this that I'm looking for? The bundles is the harvest bundle package command, right? Yeah, I think so. Man, fat fingering everything right now. So then this is going to get engine and then that version. process this, process protocol. So I don't want to touch those versions because those are special versions. And then there's the registration element. Get that version, which is now going to be a Wix version. That version, harvest dependency. And this is still a string. Version. That's the protocol one. I don't care about that one. Yep. So because we use strings so much, and that Burn uses Wix versions internally for all of its version handling, it's mostly just allowing Wix versions to flow all the way into bundles is very nice and easy. It's very consistent. It's MSIs that we have to do extra work to handle their versions. So I think it just rolls all the way down. That's why I wasn't too worried when it reused all the existing code, like parse chain, package, and things like that. So anyway, I mean, let's see. Where are the tests for this? I think we could look at that. Wix toolset core burn. Let's see. Wix test. Wix toolset core integration or in burn? Yeah, not in burn. It's gonna be in core integration. Bundle package fixture. What are we validating in the end here? Bundle package chain element that version 10000. Okay. Let's look at this code here. What changes I think I made? Oh, because I fat fingered something. That's why it thinks there's a change. Okay, all good. So here we're threading this. Yeah, so we're already pulling the bundle package, or the bundle package here, and it's validating that. So the version went through untouched. There, I guess we could put a Wix version in it and see that flows through. Man, there's a lot of setup for these things to build. You build a bundle, build another bundle, and here's a remote bundle. All right, let's see. This is pulling out of test data. Which folder? Parent? Is that the name of it? Parent? Parent? No. That's not the name of it. Oh, that's the OBJ parent. Test data. Where is my code coming from? Oh, right here. Bundle package, remote bundle package. Bundle package, remote bundle package. Let's see. Remote bundle package. So there's the version there. Okay. So, yeah, I guess I could put, let's bring it up. All right, we have egg crunch up. Let's go ahead and bring, which one was I looking at? Bundle package fixture. Bundle package fixture. Make this a little bigger. And let's go ahead and pin this test. Oh, gotta let it catch up a little bit. Assuming it will. All right, yes, that's there now. Build past, go ahead and grab it. Grab it, go. Go, little test, thank you. We can see it's down here, this running. Oh, go, run all those tests. All right, I wanna pin you, pin this test, and I wanna pin this remote test. All right, so I'm gonna break this by going into the test data, bundle package, remote bundle package, yep, and changing this to 100 dash foo 55. I don't know, doesn't matter. Okay, so if I let that run, then it should run this test here, and it should fail. And it's a lot of text, but we can see the new version is foo 55 here, and that version is 1000. So this version is the one I think I've changed. No, that's the provides. The bundle package version is down here a little bit farther. There. What did I put? I put foo.55, something like that. So if that's correct, then that test should pass. Nope. Oh, or is there more? Oh, the cache ID also had the version. Ah, right. The cache ID includes the bundle version for these generated ones. And something else? Cache ID, foo install version. I want this window bigger. All right, I'm gonna grab this. Expected. These lines are not big enough. All right, expected is on top, actual. Okay, cache. That looks good. What did I miss? Bundles are the same. Version is good. Install arguments, uninstall arguments. Oh, the provider did change. Yeah, right. I thought it would. I should have just fixed it when I saw it. I knew this was going to change. Foo.55. Anything else? Related bundle. You don't have a version. There we go. And now this down here is different because there's going to be another version in it. Yeah, cool. So that let the Wix version through. Now let's just do something crazy. What can I put in here? I think that's invalid. Right? Yeah. And now we see the result for an attribute value that is not a valid version. Specify 4-part version or semantic version, such as that or that. There we go. So, I mean, I'm always kind of, I'm uncertain how many tests to add with given all of this in place. I'm kind of like, you know what, let's just put a version number in there. I could put the semantic version and leave the semantic version in this case. And then lean on the fact that we know that this is calling the parse helper, and then the parse helper test has all the various checks of error messages. Because otherwise we end up having these very large tests that do lots of bundle builds and things like that to validate all those different version differences. And these are much more expensive tests to run than, like, you know, this took, it says 2 seconds. You can't see that, but it says like 2.69 seconds. And this is still taking half a second. Where these parse helper things are running in sub-tenths of seconds, like not even a thing. So yeah, that's why I think bundle package just worked, because it's all just Wix versions flowing all the way through. That, I mean, it's awesome. It's the architecture held together. All right, so don't want that remote bundle. That's the test I was looking at. That's the test we're just looking at. That's the compiler. I opened all this stuff in the code. All right, I want to go back to the end-to-end tests and make sure that we get both the satisfied and the unsatisfied. So this test is adding the unsatisfied dependency test. This is the one I added. This is in my diff. This is all new. Prevent the install of package A to cause package B's enforced dependency to fail the install. Boom, and that's a good thing. Whoa, this message is wrong though. Would find that when it ran. Okay, let's bring up tests, and we've had a lot of tests since then. How far do I have to go to find my failed dependency? Oh, not very far at all. All right. So we need to replace this error message because it's clearly the wrong thing. All right, so let's look at the bundle. Let's see, is this the one that failed? Let's go look. Yeah, this is the one that failed, 643. Really? 643? It's interesting. All right. I'm pretty sure that's the same as this. Can you jump? No. I don't know how this is defined in here. How about, can I get, will I be able to find this? Enum. Let's see, error install failure. 1603. Oh, hex. Hex. Me and hex don't get along. Let's see. At least not off the top of my head. Hex. Please be the right number. 643. It's got to be, right? And then go to, 16. Okay, good. Good. All right. Second guessing myself here. Okay, cool. So that's install failure. So that's correct. Now we need to find a message that indicates the correct failure in these log files. And I want to see things related to package B in here. Probably that. Applied execute package B. We want to see that it was applied and executed in the bundle B install log. And we want to see that it failed. Guess it looks like we do that instead. There we go. Applied execute package B result that restart none. There we go. And then we get the H result version there. So that's, yeah. I guess that's the test that I was thinking about, because if we go look up above, we probably will see another test that builds B. Here we install A. I see here we're just doing normal B installs, which is going to test our forward case regularly, where package B requires package A, and therefore if those fail to get installed, then we would know there are problems, or these tests would check or catch those. So that's good. That forward case, we're testing the good case. We're testing often, I guess I should say. I'm just looking through these tests now, making sure that we don't have any others where package A is set to not install, then package B would fail. Oh, but it already had that test before. Right. All right. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, which I think means that we just want to put all this back the way it was, because this is the way bundle B was before we started. Bundle B? Huh, that's kind of funny. Yeah, so we just need to then verify that they're not installed, set the package test that, and then verify that it's failed with this error message. I like that. And now that I made that change to bundle B, hopefully that removes it from our changes. Okay, dependency tests, right? Yes. That's a better error message that I'm checking. Bundle B package fixture. Okay, we'll think about that one. And there's 0. So these two go together if I want that. So yeah, I've undone my changes to bundle B, and we're back to the way things were, except we now have this minimum version semantic versioning check where the package A installs version 1000, the RTM version, and this has a minimum dependency on the alpha pre-release of 100, and because RTM is better than the alpha, it satisfies that test. It's awesome. And then if we also verify that if it's not installed, it does not satisfy the test. Okay, I guess I feel better about us catching that requires case in there then. All right. So, quick jump back to to-do. Jump back to to-do. What do I have left? I want to write Wix toolset test.data. Right, so Wix toolset data tests to validate Wix version. I want that to do. We did the check on the error message, on validating the uninstall works, or the failed dependency test works. So that I feel good about. So let me go here and let's see this missing entry section message. This still says product. Okay. All right. So these to-dos are still valid to go through and just, fix that error message. And I think I'm just going to leave these messages the way it is, and then writing down these changes, given the way that the slight changes in the way that we pull data from exes, and the fact that provider keys can now be Wix versions in Wix 4, but Wix 3 code won't be able to read it. Putting those notes somewhere for real subtle changes that hopefully don't hit anybody. Really hope that nobody hits them, but we need to write them down because it's gonna be really hard otherwise to tell that happened. This was fixed in episode 21. Woo! That's what we did today. This was the big work for today, which is awesome. Verify the fix, update the latest AK reboost changes, deal with that, which I think that all worked, and we validated that all worked. So that just leaves me here. Yeah, so 1, 2. I'm gonna bring these down here with me. And then I will mark them done or not being done up there. I think I'm gonna declare this victory. That way, if I want to think about it a little bit more, I can remember I'm not 100% sold on. Okay, so I will go remove the duplications on the to-dos, fix those error messages, and I think this can say was done episodes 20 and 21. Very cool. Very cool. All right. I think next week we're going to pick up with some new changes, some new fixes, because this is done. I'm going to go write some more tests on the Wix version. That's not going to be terribly exciting. Do that, and then I say that. May have some fixes if I got anything wrong in the integration tests. I'll fix any bugs that come out of that. I'm really hopeful that we've been able to hit the code coverage on all the changes that we made, so it's going to be okay. But the build machine will definitely validate all those other things. So if all goes well, or if all that is good, then we will pick up and jump into, pick some other issues here. There are plenty to pick from. I think we're gonna be able to check one off here. Probably do that together when I get back, when I have the build all verified and ready to go. And then we'll pick 1 or 2 or 3, maybe some small ones here, and blast through a few of these bugs, because that's what we have to do for Wix 4. But on that note, this has been fun. It's awesome that we got ourselves through all these changes, through all these weeks. 15 to 21, 6 weeks, I think. No, 14? Wow, really? Maybe. I've lost track of when we started this. Maybe it was 15? Whatever. At 6, 7 weeks, it's awesome. This has been fun. It's been it started with a really fun adventure in exploring what was possible and not really possible with MSI verse semantics. And we've got our way through with this nice, much more flexible and powerful versioning semantics for going forward. So on that note, you guys all take it easy. Keep coding. You know I am. Bye.